Hello, boys and girls. I hope everyone is doing well. I thought that I would go ahead and post a video to help us out with our math for this week's learning packet. One of the first things in your learning packet for math is the base 10 blocks, which, if you remember, we did those every day at calendar, and we would count our rods and our cubes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to practice that as we were at school. But I don't have my magic hat with me, but I do have my cat in the hat hat. And I think that's a pretty magical hat too. If you think about it, a cat that wears a hat that can walk and talk, I think if I use this hat, it may just work. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the cubes inside the magic hat. And just like at school, when we get to 10 cubes, we get to pull out a rod or a 10. So we're going to count our ones first. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that I have 10 cubes in this hat, if I say some magic words like we would at school, abracadabra, alakazam, put a rod in Mrs. Lucard's hand, I'm going to reach into my magic hat and see if those cubes may have fused together for me. And look at that, they did. So now those 10 cubes become one rod or 110. It doesn't matter if my rod is straight up, laying on its side, either way, it is still worth 10. So when I see this, I know to say 10. So boys and girls, what we just did is exactly what we would have done at school in our calendar. I put 10 cubes into the hat, they fused together to make one 10 rod. So if I were to count the cubes on this rod, I know we'd get 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's an even exchange. I had 10 cubes become one rod. So on your worksheet this week, you'll see a picture of an anthill. There are many anthills, and they want to know how many 10s and how many 1s you have. So that way you can make a double-digit number. So if we look at the first one, it shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 rods. So I'm going to move this over, and we're going to try that together. Let's put this here, see if I can get it to sit up for us. Oh, perfect. And I'm going to put 5 of the 10s. Now, I know that each one of these is worth more than one, but what they wanted to know is how many of these rods do you see? They didn't want to know the value just yet. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would say that I see 5 10s. Now on your worksheet, I know under the anthill is where you would write your number, so you would put your 5 below it. Now I know the value of this is not 5 though. What it is worth is if I would count by 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So right now I know that I have 50. But then they also gave us 5 1s. 1, and it doesn't matter where my 1s are placed. They can be scattered all over the board as long as I count each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, they want you to put the number of how many 1s cubes you see underneath those cubes. So I put a 5 again. Now if I were to see a 5 and a 5 next to one another, beside each other, this forms a 2-digit number, and the number is 55. So I know the value of these blocks is 55. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. Remember, after you count by 10s, you count on by 1 when you see your cubes. Let's try one more together, kindergarten. I'm actually going to do the next one on your worksheet with you as well. If you're having any difficulty with this, you can reach out to me on Classroom Dojo. You can email, however you need to try to get a hold of me. I'm sorry, I was looking for my eraser. There it is. So on the next one, on our worksheet, just to make sure we're understanding this, They show us how many rods do you see? I do not want to know the value right now. I want to know how many rods are in front of you. 2. There are 2 rods. Now, if I were to ask you the value of the rods or what they are worth, you would count by tens and you would say 10, 20. But I know there are 2 rods or 2 tens. There are 2 tens, 2 groups of 10. So then, on the ones place, they gave us 6 cubes. And again, they can be rearranged any way we like, as long as I have 6. And I'm going to count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would place a 6 under that. And I just created a new 2-digit number. So this time, when I put those 2 digits side by side, my new number now is 26. So kindergarten, just think about how we did the clouds at school on our counting chart when we tracked our days of school. Every time we got a group of 10, we would add a cloud. It's the same concept. So these are just those extra in the tens frame. Again, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me and I will try to help you with this week's math homework. I will show you the hexagons in the next video where they talk about the number bonds again to refresh your memory with that as well. I'm going to go ahead and pull from the Let's Get Moving jar, so maybe you can take a quick break, take a breath, and then go back to work. And it looks like today, from the Let's Get Moving jar, you get to have a pillow fight. Oh, it's very important though, before you have a pillow fight, make sure you have permission from your parents. Don't just come up and whack them with a pillow. Make sure they know that it's a friendly game of a pillow fight. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you later. Thank you.